The 23 men of Dagger 22, our team's call sign, strapped the last of the gear to the sides of our 4 GMVs in the pre-dawn darkness. I stood in the back bed of the second GMV in our small column, where I would crew the portside M240 machine gun. "You ready, Ski?" Andy asked, as he opened the GMV's right rear door. "Ready or not, let's do this." I settled onto the hard bench seat I'd come to hate so much in Nevada. A moment later, Captain Strom piled in back with me. Strom was Andy's counterpart, who commanded the MSOT we would be replacing. He'd come along to help familiarize us with the situation out here. He shucked off his assault pack and dumped it on the deck. As I introduced myself, Strom unslung a bandolier of 40mm grenades, which he hung from a rack beside the starboard side M240. Then he stowed an old Vietnam-era M79 grenade launcher by his knees. He gestured to the bandolier. "I plan on shooting all these before we get to Bala Murghab." A captain with a grenade launcher and the intent to use it. Not something you see too often these days in the Marine Corps. Andy gave the word and our column rolled out of our small compound to a staging area where we linked up with Lieutenant White and his 82nd Airborne Element. He assigned us the rear of the convoy, and when the local national trucks began to arrive, we interleaved our 4 rigs into the last third of the column. As dawn broke on the eastern horizon, we inched out through the camp's front gate and turned onto Route 1, Ring Road, the only paved highway in western Afghanistan. We followed it straight through the heart of downtown Herat and into the bazaar area. Already the place teemed with people. Cooking fires burned, dead animals dangled from hooks in the tin shack butcher shops. Men haggled over goods, others wandered around. I noticed some of the shops were built out of metal shipping containers. They'd simply cut windows and doors in the sides of them and opened up for business. Around us, mopeds buzzed past as garish jingle trucks lumbered along in the opposite lane. A pair of civilians doubled up on a Japanese dirt bike roared by. Traffic slowed, and our column found itself stuck in the middle of a workday morning in metropolitan Herat. A moment later, we came to a standstill as the traffic flow stopped completely. Over the radio, we heard that a jingle truck had caused an accident ahead. We waited for the wreck to be cleared and watched the scene around us for any potential threats. It did not take long for the kids to discover us. At first, 1 or 2 ventured out into the street to catch water or food from us. It was like Iraq all over again. The more timid soon joined their bolder pals. At first, some of our 82nd guys gave them water or scraps of food. Strom saw that and remarked, "That's like spitting on a forest fire." Sure enough, encouraged by the response, more kids piled into the street. Some tried to climb on the sides of our rigs. "We're Marines, not UNICEF. We don't give out free shit." We fended them off, but more kept coming. It was like a human wave of 7-year-olds. When they realized we wouldn't give them anything, they brazenly tried to snatch whatever they could off the sides of our GMVs, with no luck. The traffic began moving again, and our column crept forward. Some of the kids paced us, running alongside to beg in broken English. They wore rags for clothes, and most had no shoes. I'd seen third-world poverty before on other deployments, but there was something particularly dirty and grim about this place. It took us a good chunk of the morning just to get through Herat. When we finally broke into open country, the asphalt highway gave way to a rutted, dirty road that shook our GMVs violently. Fortunately, our homemade storage racks bolted to the outside of the rigs held up to the abuse, and we didn't lose any personal packs or gear. Within minutes of leaving the hardball behind, the convoy kicked up a massive dust cloud. I watched it form ahead of us. Then, like a conveyor belt, we drew closer and closer until we were engulfed in the brown fog. I wrapped my chamois across my face, but that did little good. The dust got into my eyes, mouth, and nose.